Hello everyone, how's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's feeling really good. And today I want to shoot this real quick video to talk a little bit about how to take over property subject to. So I want to share with you a little bit about how to take over property subject to and what is subject to. Subject to is basically you're taking over the existing mortgage or the existing deed on the property that has a loan on it from the bank. And let's say if the seller has the property he owes on it, you're basically going in and you're doing a wraparound mortgage on the property. That's more of a subject to it. You could kind of consider it like a seller financing deal, but except the financing and the terms are already in place from the bank. So I want to go real quick into it, like how do you kind of structure this and like put it together. So let's say if you found the seller and the seller was motivated, and let's say that you're a wholesaler, but you want to learn how to do creative financing. This is one of the techniques that you can use by building your portfolio of properties and taking over properties subject to. So let's say if you found the motivated seller and the seller was motivated, he needed to move out of town, he got job transferred, and let's say he had a property that he owed $200,000 on. You did your homework, you did your research, and you found out that there's not a lot of equity into it and the property is worth $200,000. So what do you do to make money off that? So let's say the property is worth $200,000, he owes $200,000 on it, and let's say that the interest rates on the property that the bank has with it is 4.5% fixed, and let's say the terms on there is 30-year amortization, and his PTI monthly payments and interest is around $1,200 a month on this deal. So that's the terms with the property. So let's say you said, okay, great, I'll take over your property subject to the loan will stay in your name, but I'm going to be making the payments for you. And that's another thing you have to keep in mind is that when you take over the property subject to, you have to make sure that you're making the payments for the seller to keep his credit going. Otherwise, if you don't make the payments, you can affect his credit. So let's say you took this over, put it under contract. And another thing is you want to be able to have an attorney to do this. This is how I did my deals. I usually have my attorney did it because a lot of times the banks, or not the banks, but the title companies, they don't understand this concept of how to do wraparound mortgages and wraparound deeds. So you want to ask your attorney about that understands this game, that understands how to do wraparound mortgages, and then you can take over that property subject to, because basically what they're going to do is they're going to record the deed or the mortgage, and they're going to record it at the courthouse, and then you're going to get the deed to the property. The loan will still stay in the seller's name, but you're going to be making no payments on that loan. So you took over the property and you got it. Now the property's in your name, it's in your LLC. So what do you do now? How do you actually make money off this with no equity in it? So here's the way you make money off of it. So let's say you got this property and let's say you market it for a lease option buyer. You put signs in front saying purchase property, no bank qualified, call this number. Put that in front of the house, you put that down the street, and now all of a sudden people are calling your phone and you're looking for lease option tenants. And let's say with the lease option tenants, most of these individuals you're going to be dealing with are going to be tenants that don't have good credit, but they've been working a job for 2 to 3 years, but they got dings on their credit. So you're going to be dealing with people that don't have good credit. But these individuals are looking for homes they can purchase to live in with them and their family. So let's say you found a lease option buyer. So this is how you make the capital off this property. So you find a lease option buyer. Depends on what market you're in, but you want to be able to, if the market is steady on housing, you can charge anywhere from 5 to 15% over, because you are dealing with a lease option buyer. So it's not like a credit buyer where they got good credit. You can charge a little bit more. So let's say you charge the lease option tenant $215,000. That's the purchase price for them, and then their down payment. Typically, the down payment on a subject to deal, and if you're doing a lease option on it, down payment, typically what I like to do is do a 3% down payment of the purchase price. So you take $215,000 times 3%, that'll put you at $6,450 on the down payment money. Now keep in mind, don't go in and say that that's what you need. See what they have first, because they might be able to give you $10,000 down. If they can give you $10,000 down, that just comes off the purchase price, that's even better for you. But your goal is to at least give them 3% down, because FHA right now you can get a loan on a mortgage on a house with 3.5% down. So you want to be able to go from that mark or a little bit lower just to kind of help them out. So I usually typically do 3% down, which will be $6,450. And another thing too, because here's the thing, they're not worried about the down payment. Where most of these buyers are sensitive at is the monthly payment. So you want to make sure when you look into that area, you want to know exactly what the rents are. What are people renting these type of properties out for? If they're renting them, and if the rent's $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, that's what you want to charge them. But on this number, we actually found out that you can rent these properties out in that area for around $1,400 a month. So we charging them $1,400 a month in rents. So that spread between both of those is around $200, which will be $2,400 a year. So this is your profit on this property. $200, which is spread from $1,400 to what is that, $1,200? So $1,400 to $1,200 will be $200. That's $2,400 yearly, annually you'll be making. The down payment is non-refundable, so that's non-refundable money. Down payment will be $6,450, and then your back-end profit, if you take the the down payment money of $215,000, you're looking at around $208,000. If you minus that from the $200,000 that you owe on the loan, you're looking at about $8,550. So if you add all those together annually, your profit on this one deal will be $17,400. That's how you make money off subject to deals. So keep in mind, you can take over the property, you just turn around, you do a lease option with a tenant. Lease option tenant will give you a down payment money. They will give you cash flow in the process as you hold the property, and whatever the back end profit is from what you owe to the seller or the bank, and what that extra leftover is, that's your profit. And that is $8,550. So I hope that helps. I know this was a little bit, but that's 3 ways you can get paid. So you get the down payment money, you get the cash flow every month, and then you also get a back end profit. And that's how you can make money off equity or no equity. This property has no equity in it. So thank you for watching. I'm actually going to be putting more content out there for you as well. I'm actually going to do another video to talk a little bit about going in detail and about how to do subject to deals. Also, feel free to go to my website. I will have that in the description box. You can go to the website, check it out. We actually deal with a lot of multifamily apartment buildings, and we're also looking for passive investors who want to invest in multifamily. So make it a prosper day, make it a blessed day, and I'll see you on the other side. Thank you.